Well, that was a great first panel, wasn't it? And there are again many calls to action for COP28. And at COP28, we are going to be embracing the themes of youth and inclusivity. So we are very happy and thrilled to offer a platform for our young generation to share their stories of activism today. Our young speakers are current or former students from schools that won the Global High Schools category of the Zayed Sustainability Prize, a category aimed at inspiring future sustainability leaders and empowering them as agents of change. And remember what Dr. Yum Keller said about Africa's bright minds. Well, we've got a very fine specimen here today. Please welcome Jacqueline Wambua. She's a former student at the Starehe Girls Center in Kenya and winner of the 2017 Global High Schools of the Zayed Sustainability Prize. Please give her a warm welcome.
Today's youth are actively building the world they will lead tomorrow. Their activism is impacting communities around the world, inspiring positive change and shaping a brighter future for all of us.
Hi everyone, my name is Jacqueline Wambua, a student at Stanford University, studying economics and political science. And I'm also an alumni of Starehe Girls Center, a school in Kenya, which won the Zayed Sustainability Prize in 2017. Our project was mainly reducing electricity costs in the school, and the money that would be saved from that would be used to admit more bright but disadvantaged students into the school. Now, when we won the prize, for a moment there was a power shift in me, because for the first time I could see how the theoretical knowledge that I was learning in school could actually create sustainable solution. And this just changed the voice in me. And instead of always blaming the government and being who is not doing this committee is not doing this, or this community is not doing this, for the first time I was able to ask myself, what can I do where I am? And this accelerated my passion towards empowering women, especially in my community. I started projects to incorporate teenage mothers into schools, and also I started working towards mentoring girls to access STEM subjects in my village. Now, we all know that women and children are the ones who are mostly affected by the effects of climate change. They're the ones who go to fetch water, they're the ones who carry the firewood, and sometimes they're the ones who are last to eat, especially in developing countries. And it's not a surprise that as much as women are the ones who are affected by the effect of climate change, their voices are rarely on the table of decision making. And that is why my research and my education is steered towards advancing and empowering women to become the change makers that we need to be in our society. Now, I think activism is very hard, and especially creating effective change, it's harder. We just had our first African Climate Summit, which was championed by our President William Ruto. And I was so happy to see Africa being at the forefront of addressing the effects and the cost of climate change. And it also gave us a voice as Africans, and so has bringing our ideas together to steer the change that we want, and also to ask for the change that we want to see for our country, instead of allowing other countries to always make decisions for us. To be honest, when I was coming into this climate summit, for the first time I was conflicted. Is it going to be another climate summit where we come and talk, make recommendations, sometimes commitments, and nothing sometimes happens? And I felt so powerless, because we don't want to be stuck in the loop of talking and talking. We want to see action, because climate change is moving faster. But I had to look within and realize there's a power within me. Within me, I decided to seize the power that lies in there. I have a community that is motivated towards making change. I have a voice that I'm now using to advocate for the change that I want to see in my community. And more so, I'm acquiring a very good education in Stanford University that I hope is going to make me one of the best consultants in regards to sustainable development. Thank you. And we're all seated here. And I want us to think of this horizon where none of us has ever been, but everyone wants to get there. My horizon looks like this: gender equity, clean water and sanitation in the informal settlements of Kenya, reduced droughts in the northeastern parts of Kenya. And I want to invite you, my listener, what does your horizon look like? And I know we are all here together because our horizons collide. I see the Sustainable Development Goals there. Your horizon looks different. But I think we all have the same goal, and our horizons look similar. And I want to invite you to look within yourself, seize the power within you, and let us stop the talk of governments need to do this, we need to do this, and ask yourself today, what do I need to do? How can I get us there? And when you answer that question, look for collaboration, because I believe collaboration is the new competition. And I believe when each one of us plays that part, and we stop pointing fingers, and we act on where we are, seizing the power of what can I do, instead of what are they not doing? We should do this, we should do this. What am I doing? I can do this. That is the language that I think we should adapt. I think with that, we shall get to that horizon that we all aim for. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Jacqueline Wambua, who was very inspiring with her passion. Now next, we are going to welcome two students from the FSZ school in Germany. It's Mattis Kley and Maurice Gassmann, and they were winners in 2016 of the Global High Schools winners of the Zayed Sustainability Prize. So here you go, gentlemen, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Picture this: a glossy lake in the heart of Europe, with green meadows stretched along its shoreline. In the background, a snowy mountain range. You hear birds chirping and see a swan gracefully flying by. We are Moritz and Mattis, two high school students from Germany, and we are proud to call the place I just described to you home. Lake Constance is so much more than just a natural beauty. It supplies over 4 million people with clean drinking water. It stores and captures CO2, and it has a meaningful impact on the local environment by capturing and releasing heat. Climate change and the intensive use of diesel-powered vessels have impacted this ecosystem greatly. From unprecedented levels of water level fluctuations and hyperacidity. Although we're one of the least affected areas from around the world, it doesn't look too good for the future of our region. That's why many students from around the lake have started research projects to analyze the problems and find new and innovative solutions. That's where the Zayed Sustainability Prize comes into play.
In 2016, the Schülerforschungszentrum SFZ, which translates to Students' Research Center, won the Zayed Sustainability Prize. That was our first year at SFZ, and to be part of the prize-winning community made us very proud. Thanks to the prize, it became possible to realize even bigger projects in the sector renewable energy production. We built a small hydropower plant, for example, a wind turbine, and we were able to launch a power-to-gas research project. All these projects, which were developed by students and implemented with the support of companies inspired by the Zayed Sustainability Prize, now constantly feed regenerative energy into the national grid. Since then, plenty of projects have been launched, with ours being one of them.
Having seen all the progress made by our older peers, we wanted to take matters into our own hands and create our own renewable energy project. Back then, we thought of it as a simple idea, since it's no rocket science to attach some solar panels and a motor to a boat. But boy, did we underestimate the German Technical Inspection Association. With the groundwork laid out, we started work on our solar-powered catamaran. Like all projects in the midst of the climate crisis, it had to be as sustainable and environmentally friendly as possible. And maybe just as important, it had to be scalable. That's why we chose to follow the design philosophy of KISS. Keep it short and simple.
Figuring out the right size of our components turned out to be more difficult than expected, since there is limited space and carrying capacity on a vessel. We ended up with a 5-meter-long former sailing catamaran, which suited our needs and requirements. The motor gets its power from lined batteries. Thanks to our installed solar modules and systems on board, the solar energy is more than enough to power the motor even on mildly clouded days, resulting in a theoretically unlimited range during daylight. As you can imagine, we learned a lot during the construction of the boat, among other things that you should check beforehand, if your boat is actually watertight. After 3 years of work on the solar catamaran and pandemic-related delays, we were overjoyed to finally sail on Lake Constance, naturally with the approval of the German Technical Inspection Association.
One of our main priorities was to collect as many data as possible while leaving as little trace behind. This not only aligned with our environmental goals, but also ensured the highest quality of available samples. Our solar catamaran is the foundation for many future projects by students and entire school courses, studying and documenting the changes happening to our lake. In summary, our solar catamaran is a platform for environmental analytics and the formulation of countermeasures which operate under the inspiration of the Zeit to Sustainability Prize. With our action and your help, we hope to preserve the glossy lake in the heart of Europe with green meadows stretched along its shoreline. Thank you very much.